Chuck, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're already live, so go right ahead.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. Had to get rid of some background noise. Anyway, greetings. Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to the Black News Network. I want to thank Mr. Warren Smith for inviting me on this afternoon to talk about some of the things that are important to us as a Black culture, Black race. So from here, I'm going to pass it back over to him and let him get the show started, and we'll get back with some more information. Okay? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chuck. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing just peachy, man. Let me go ahead and get our introduction started, and then we'll get going to do what we got to do. Give me 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you to the Black News Network. From the desk of the Emissary, we're broadcasting live with the War Report. We don't own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. So I want to thank you again for having us here with the Black News Network.
I've met many people over the years, and in my opinion, I have found that people are the same everywhere. They have the same fears, shed similar tears, die in so many years. The oppressed seem to have suffered the most in every continent, coast to coast. Now our lives are in the hands of the pusher man. We break it all down in hopes that you might understand how to protect yourself. Don't make no profit for the man.
Wassalam Talagam. This is Brother Warren Smith with the Black News Network. We want to welcome our guest today, Mr. Chuck Slaughter. He'll be broadcasting as live as I will. If you notice in the background, you see the Lorraine Hotel. That's in Memphis, Tennessee. Whenever you get a chance to go in that direction, make sure you put that on your agenda and you stop by the Lorraine Hotel. This is, again, the Black News Network. We broadcast live on Facebook. So you can find us at War Smith Facebook channel or the War Report Facebook channel. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube at the Black News Network. Go to BNN 247. Black News Network 24/7. So thank you so much for tuning in with us today. I know this is a football Sunday on September 10th, 2023. This is one day before the big thing that happened in New York with the World Trade Centers, the 9/11. That would be tomorrow. So don't forget to add that into your prayers. Talk to Allah, talk to God. Let them know that those people who perished during 9/11 are in your prayers. Today, it's just being Black in America. There's so many things going on with what we're trying to do here. We've always had to work from an underdog position. And something I was listening to today just brought me full circle on where we are in America. You know, America went above and beyond to put us in a position against ourselves. And so far, they have been very, very successful. And a lot of times you hear people talking about how the federal government targets the Black male in America. The bottom line is, it's true. And in order to go to the root of a Black man and destroy a Black man, you have to destroy his family. How can an entire federal government set themselves up to destroy the Black male's family? They start by, let's get this joker out of the house. Let's take care of their women and not let them take care of their women. And how do they do that? They don't give you no damn job. They won't allow you to be free. They put you in jail every damn chance they get. They did all these things to our families, to separate our families. That is the best way to stop procreation. That is the best way to stop us from creating future generations to take our legacy forward. By destroying our family, they basically have destroyed our history, our future, because we're not going to have descendants, because they have taken the masculinity out of our Black males. And now we're in this recovery phase where we can't seem to get off the ground because we can't get 10 Black males to agree on a damn thing. Here we are starting with just two, Mr. Chuck Slaughter and myself. We're trying to let you know in America that there seems to be a big ass disconnect that we gonna have to damn fix. And if we don't, ain't nobody gonna fix this shit for us. Right now, all this turmoil going on in America, all the white folks fighting white folks, and we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs, ain't doing a damn thing. So at what point in time in being Black are you going to accept the fact that you cannot assimilate into what they are doing here? You have been indoctrinated into the European culture of training, 12 years of school that taught you the European way. Nothing is about your history. It's all about what what they taught you. And the worst part of it all, Chuck, the worst part of it all is that we have failed to realize that this has been an orchestrated plan against us. And we act like it ain't even there. You know, I don't understand why we think we're so well off here in America that we don't have to do anything but take care of our damn selves and move on with our own lives and fuck everybody else. That's what it seems like. You know, as long as my shit together, fuck y'all. I ain't got shit to worry about no more. I don't give a damn about y'all niggas out there in the street. You on your damn own. But the bottom line is, if a brother gets killed in Chicago, Illinois, I'm affected here in San Antonio, Texas. If a brother gets choked out on the subway in New York City, it affects me here in San Antonio, Texas. But you got so many black males that walk around and act like that shit don't bother them. Oh, it ain't in my neighborhood, so it don't bother me. But soon as that shit come to your neighborhood, you got your ass out in the street begging everybody else to support you. It's bullshit. You know, Chuck, you want to chime in on what I'm talking about here, because this is atrocious. This is the worst of the worst I've ever, you know, I've been black all my life, and so have you, but we've never seen it this bad. We got to start shit like the masculinity movement to get our men back to being men, because they've been raised by females and all they seeing is heels and lipstick and bras and panties. And that's what they want to put on. The black men are switching harder than the black women.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Yeah, well, you said a mouthful, a lot of information you put out there right there on a lot of different fronts. And you're absolutely right. Right now, today, and in the future is what we should be looking at. We should become a forward-thinking people. Instead, we are still trapped in the past and our history, and trying to learn our history, because it wasn't taught to us. A lot of us didn't get the history taught to us in our family. We were taught about slavery and how bad slavery was, but we didn't learn about any history that we should have known. And now we're hearing all kinds of things about history and the power and this, that, and the other that we used to have as a people. And my question is always asked, if we had it, how did we lose it? You know, so, but there's a lot of things that we got to look at economically, politically, empowerment, and stuff like this. There's so much. And a lot of people tell me, you say, you all over the board, you everywhere. Yeah, that's costing so much to do it. Ain't nobody really trying to do anything to help us as a people. And like you said earlier, it's going to take us to help us, because nobody else is going to do it. We just might always give it up. My brother down in Houston, Claude Foster, now we talk a lot too. And we talk about the lack of black leadership in our culture. We talk about the black politicians that get elected to office that really don't deal with any of the black issues that we have in our culture, you see. So we have to find a way to number one, to empower the black vote so that it will mean something to the black culture itself. Just like all the other groups have empowered themselves with money and numbers, we have to come back and empower ourselves with money and numbers, and it can be done. It can be done. If every black person in this country right now sent $1 to the African American Capital Reserve Fund, hey, we'd have a good start right there at a self-imposed reparation. They don't want to give us reparation. They did it to everybody else that was harmed by the reactions by the behavior of the United States. But our ancestors being treated the way they were, building this country on free labor, and they want to hold back the reparations that's due to those of us who have paid that price. And so I suggest that we impose a self-imposed reparations, and within 10 years, we can control trillions of dollars that belong to us as a culture, as a race. But I don't say race because I believe it's only one race, and that's the human race. So we can't be discriminating against each other as a race. So I say it's culturalism. It's cultures that are making a difference in what the United States used to be and what we grew up under, We grew up in America that used to be a humanitarian country. We did things because we wanted to make life better for other people around the world. And we were good at that. But all of a sudden, racism has come back into the play and raised this ugly head. And now you got people on the, I don't know, the right side or left side. I guess if I come into Congress, it would be the right would be the Republicans, the left would be the Democrats. But so you got people on the right side now advocating and saying that if Biden wins at the ballot, there'll be bullets in the streets. We've been choosing between the bullets and the ballots for a long time, and we still believe that the ballot is the best way to win this war. And that means we have to mobilize our Black people, especially the ones that's living in poverty, the ones that was formerly incarcerated, that have the right to vote now, and anybody else that's been disenfranchised because of our government. And you're right, Warren. Our government has done a good job of tearing down the Black family.
That's right.
Both Democrats and Republicans. And Democrats pissed me off a couple of years ago when they come out as a party saying that the Black woman was the backbone of the Democratic Party. There again, dividing the Black woman and the Black man. Instead of they saying to the Black man, even though we get 80-some% of your vote, you ain't nothing to us.
It's an orchestrated plan, and they have not lit up yet. I mean, they keep sliding shit in, slick shit that they don't want people to catch. But people like me and Mr. Slaughter here, we're catching that shit. And we're bringing it to your attention that they're doing this. And we're asking that you get on board with us and make some damn changes here in this damn country. We put in $11 trillion a year, and probably up to about $15 trillion a year right now in the American economy. And that is something that we should be controlling. A dollar don't circulate in our communities. And it doesn't circulate in our communities because we don't own the businesses in our community. Run them damn people out of your community with that bullshit. I mean, you got a liquor store damn near on every corner. Boycott that shit. Stop buying shit in there. Don't go in there for shit. Don't buy no gas there. Don't do nothing there. That's where our downfall is.
But I want to take a minute. You mentioned the billboards, the liquor stores, and the cigarettes and stuff like that. I have to take a hat off to Miss Linda Tippings, who fought for those billboards, advertising cigarettes and stuff to be taken down in the Black community, as well as limiting liquor stores in the Black community. However, with San Antonio Fighting Back, she was with when she did this. However, eventually they ease it in because money counts, and we don't have the cash flow to support that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to give her a
shout out to Miss Linda Tippins.
Yeah, because she's been fighting that for a long time. She's still fighting it, and she is one of my mentors and helped me get to where I am now as far as my
She's a
leadership.
nice. I like her. She's an advocate, an activist for the East Side.
You know, we want to take a look at just how our federal government has, in our lifetime, torn down the black family. And now Larry Elder, who was a presidential candidate for the Republican ticket, come by and solidified what I've been saying for so long. And when he was on the interview on YouTube with the Breakfast Club, he mentioned that in 1947, 46, somewhere along in there, how the federal government went through the black community house to house and telling the families or the mother or whoever that the federal government, the welfare, would take care of the mother and the children, but the father had to leave the house. And so once they got the father out the house and the welfare was taking care of the mother and children, she ain't let the man back in the house yet because he's getting taken care of.
She ain't let him in there yet, Chuck.
No, because because they've been taken care of by other money, by other sources. They don't want to screw that up. That's like,
and they give them just enough to survive, but not to thrive.
Right. And so that was one thing that divided the black family. It took the black man out the house. He had to get out there to make it the best way he could. And thank God, the white women came out and did what had to be done. Anyway, the next thing they did to divide the family was the child abuse law. When they stepped in and stopped black parents from disciplining their children, spanking them, corporal punishment and stuff, making it a law. If you put your hand on your child, you could be held criminally, and so therefore black parents stopped whooping their kids. Because in our culture we said spare the rod, spoil the child. That means if you don't take care of that business when that child grow up, he is going to be so spoiled, and then you got to deal with the justice system out there. That's right now we know how that is. So the child abuse law, and then we come up on the feminist movement. And we already got the man out the house. The feminist movement came through, stopped our sisters from fighting for civil rights, to start fighting for women's rights. So now those poor females that are on welfare and don't have a man in the house with the children already are being taken out of the house because now they're getting jobs on construction sites and there are things that men should be doing. They're taking those jobs. And now the mother ain't in the house, nor the father in the house, and the children are left there to take care of themselves. And the critical hours between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. are hazardous hours for young kids that's getting out of school and there's no supervision at home. I know I came through that era. And I also came through that era where I was in the house when the welfare people would come in looking under the bed, looking in the closets, looking all over the house to see if there was a sign of a man that was living there. And if it was, you lost your benefits. So we've been through a lot. We're still going through it. And just, like I say, just recently with the Democrats acknowledging that the black woman was the backbone of the Democratic Party, but yet still when Stacey Abrams got ready to run for the governor of Georgia, he was definitely asking for the black man to come out and vote. Yep. The black vote is the biggest swing vote in America. We know it, and then we just empower our vote, and we can make everything better in America because it's not about us. It's about all of us. It's not about me. It's about my culture. And that's the reason why you just out there for the money. Tell me somebody that's not. The difference is I'm out here to make it better for people who look like me with the money I can make. Okay?
Understood.
I'm not an I person. I'm not an I person. I'm a we the people.
Some very good points, Chuck, and you're absolutely right. We have the money, but we won't put it together to make nothing happen. And like Chuck said, he has the African American Capital Reserve Fund giving us an opportunity, and it's a registered business here in San Antonio, giving us an opportunity to collect and start putting money in that African American Capital Reserve Fund to make a way for our people. Now, Chuck, if you don't have it available, try to get it available so you can put up your Cash App and, start marketing that when we go online and people can see that. And hopefully they'll start making donations to the cause. Yeah. But with that, let's go on to the next topic that I wanted to bring up. We're going to keep coming back and forth to this voter registration and this economic improvement plan that Mr. Slaughter has in mind. We have normalized something that I want you to be aware of, and we have normalized bad foods. And what I'm basically saying is when these fast food restaurants came out, right, like McDonald's took over the entire world with this shit that don't spoil. The food that you get at McDonald's will not spoil. You can sit that shit on the shelf for years and it looks the same after a few years that it looked when you first bought it. So you cannot tell me there's not enough preservatives in that damn shit to make you a mummy. But yet you're eating it. You're eating it day after day after day after day because it tastes good. But that shit is killing our people. That is why we got an obesity problem here in America, in the Black communities, because we have been normalizing bad food. When you ask your child where you want to eat, you're wrong for asking that child that. You should say, this is what you're going to eat, and if you don't eat that, you ain't eating shit. And you're going to sit your ass at the table till you finish them damn Brussels sprouts. I'm just telling you. They don't like no damn Brussels sprouts. I had to go through that. You're going to eat them greens. But when I say we're normalizing bad food, America, again, here comes the government, has set up our communities where we ain't got no damn choice but to normalize bad food and make their people rich by buying their shit, because we're in food deserts every damn where we go. If you go to the east side of San Antonio, where can you buy food at? You buy food at that H-E-B on the corner of, I'm just use this one for example, on the corner of Houston Street and New Braunfels. That is the last stop of H-E-B deliveries. And I'm telling you this because I've witnessed it. They go to every other store in the city and they end up there at 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night and make deliveries at that store. And what they're delivering is the shit that none of the other stores want. I've been up in that store on that corner and I looked at the lemons and I raised hell to the manager. Who gonna buy this shit? Get this shit off the shelf. Nobody wants mildewed damn lemons. They bring the worst of the worst shit to that store because it's in the hood, and the hood gonna buy whatever the hell they put out there on the damn market. And that's a problem. Not only did the government do this, but companies do it here, and they act like nobody noticed that shit. H-E-B is doing it, and they act like nobody's noticing it. Look at the damn store that you got over there, H-E-B, and it's been there for 40 years right now, and why don't they build a new damn H-E-B? They putting all these other damn brand new stores up all over the city, but they cannot touch that bullshit they got sitting over there on Houston and New Braunfels. Build a new store. You built that one, build another one. You got the money. We're spending the money in your stores all over the city, but yet you giving us some of the bullshit that nobody else wants. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. But there's one more point on this food desert thing. There was a time in America where we could raise hogs and chickens in our backyard. And at that time, we would take a hog and we would chop that hog up into pieces, and we had every piece of meat from the pork that we needed. The difference is We knew exactly what that damn hog ate to get that big. We knew exactly what that damn chicken ate to get that big. Nowadays, they're pumping so many damn illegal chemicals into these chickens. How the hell they grow all these damn chickens? There's a chicken in every damn store and every damn restaurant in the city. Every restaurant and every store you can find chicken. And I don't know how you can do that. In every major city in America, you can have chicken in these stores. You got to be killing 1 million chickens a damn day. And how you gonna grow 1 million chickens in a like that so you can kill every day? You gotta have something that enhance the growth of these damn chickens that make them grow this as fast as they do. And then same thing with we used to grow up on chitlins. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We ate chitlins, and you all know what chitlins are, the shit track of a damn hog. We ate hog maws, we ate pig knuckles, pig feet, and every damn thing else came off of that hog from the rooter to the tutor. We ate it. But that was the stuff we grew in our backyard. But nowadays, you want to go to H-E-B, buy you a 10-pound bucket of chitlins. You want to buy you some smoked ham hocks out there, smoked neck bones. And you think you coming home and you're going to cook that shit, and it's the same shit that you grew up with in your backyard. You cannot make it even taste like the same shit you grew up in your backyard. It don't taste right. Same with fish. Fish are being grown on cannibalistic food. They take the fillets off a damn fish, and the fish gills still pumping, and they send it over to the smelter and they burn that shit down to nothing, and then they add ingredients and turn that shit into pellets and go back and feed the same damn shit to the fish. So the catfish that you're buying in the store got no smell. The only thing that you tasting when you eat that catfish is the damn seasoning that you put on it, and it's over seasoned. But the fish has no taste and no smell. When you were growing up, the fish you ate, you smelled. Fish smell like fish. Nowadays it don't. It don't smell like fish anymore. It's because it ain't fish anymore. We eating all this shit that's causing us to die early. In Black communities, you're going to find prostate cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer, all this shit just from living. You can grow up and you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't eat hot food, and you're still going to catch cancer because of the shit you're eating in this community. They're giving you shit that that ain't right. Look at the ingredients from now on. Look at the codes that they put on these vegetables. Some of this shit is generically grown. If you buy grapes and it ain't got no damn seeds in it, guess what? That grape cannot reproduce, which makes that grape not a normal type grape. It's a man-manufactured grape. It's a GMO, genetically modified organism. Greg Jackson. Chuck, you still awake? I'm just on, baby. You better get in.
You're the man. I'm just listening because you're right. Shoot, I remember we go down to the slaughterhouse and pick up a foot tub full of chitlins. Still had the feces in them. You had to go back and clean them and boil them and clean them. H-E-B got smart. They said, we'll clean them for you. Instead of you paying $0.25 for the foot tub, we're going to charge you $10 a pound. Yeah, we got smart. Stole my idea because I was saying, let's get the people putting together little clean chitlins every holiday and be a fundraiser for us, but should H-E-B bid us to it. But anyway, yeah, you're saying a lot about the environment there and stuff, the way we eat. You know, we would grow up, we had gardens, we grew our own vegetables and stuff. We canned stuff in the pressure cookers for the summer. I mean, for the winter months, and we did it. We ate healthy. You know, our parents made sure we ate right. But the young ladies today, they're not. You know, they're not putting their children's health up front. And then, oh, he won't eat that, and he don't want like that. He don't need that. You're supposed to develop their taste buds from their baby. That's why they give you those little jars of food, vegetables and fruits and stuff. You got to develop those taste buds. Now, if you miss that opportunity, then they'll grow up eating junk food, and they're gonna have health problems later on in life. So that's important.
That's right. They're going to be overweight, and they're going to get like that because they're eating things that are not healthy for their internal tracts, not healthy for their pancreas, not healthy for their liver, not healthy for the kidney, not healthy for anything inside your body. And you're going to die young. And you die young because you didn't give yourself the opportunity to live healthy. Only thing you were thinking about, yeah, man, that damn Big Mac is a good ass Big Mac. I love that Big Mac sandwich. That's even the chicken you may buy at Popeye's Chicken or Church's Chicken. Look how big that damn wing is at Church's Chicken. That's a damn brontosaurus wing, you know.
There's some steroids. There's some steroids they're putting in those animals' food and stuff.
That's a big ass wing.
Yeah, steroids.
Okay, all right. So we know that we're living in a food desert, and the only thing we need to do now is just start to recognize what we're feeding our children and what they are eating. You know, and once we recognize that, then we can curve ourselves away from it and start our children to eating better foods. But they're not going to eat better foods if we don't direct them to eat better foods. You don't allow, I'm going somewhere else now, but you don't allow your 5-year-old child to decide what he wants to eat. Just like you don't allow your 5-year-old child to decide whether he wants to be a man or a woman, or a girl or a boy.
Ooh.
You don't allow them to do that. You don't allow your 5-year-old child to decide he gonna walk over to the park and play basketball. You don't allow them to do that. But you have to get to a point in life where you are back in charge of your children. Parents are afraid of the children now. These are damn children of the corn anyway. These little fucking bad.
You ain't kidding. Now, since you mentioned that, you know about the young people. I think they were pretty young people that went and kicked in the door of those people's home. I think on the southeast side or southwest side of San Antonio. Went in and kidnapped the mother and the father in front of the kids, and the mother was in the shower showering. Took them out. You hear about that story? Those are young people. Yeah, those are young people kicking in doors that you're not even safe in your own home. You know, kicking the door, drag you out in front of your children. And that's hard. We're living in some trying times right now.
Yeah, kids got no real understanding of what they are doing because they haven't been taught these things. But look at the examples that we have to follow. We're following a government that's been fighting for years, and now no matter what a person in charge does, it's wrong. I don't give a damn what it is. It's wrong. You let the damn Republicans tell it or the Democrats tell it, it is wrong. Biden go over to China and people saying Biden kissing their ass over there. You know, last year he went to the 20 summit, whatever that was. He said that they put,
The G20, that's what they are.
G20.
Right, they're in the G20 right now.
They said Biden or Barack or Trump put them on notice or whatever the hell had happened. But the thing is, you've allowed China to buy hundreds of thousands of acres here in the USA, but you ain't allowed these U.S. citizens to buy shit in China. We ain't over there buying shit. They all coming over here buying shit. I mean, we've taken all the manufacturing, the jobs, everything out of the country and sent it overseas, outsourcing. It sounds damn good, doesn't it? But when they taking people jobs and putting them overseas, we can't build shit right now. What the hell do we build here in America? We don't build a damn thing. We couldn't even build cars because we were getting the damn chips and parts from overseas. And when they decided they wasn't gonna send us shit, we put shit on. Shit was backed up for months, for years, because we depend on these other countries to support our damn habits, and our habits are getting out of control. And then we talk shit to them like we're the mofos on the planet right now, and we're not. You ever see how the Chinese, they have these thousands of people marching in the same damn field, in the same damn step, with the same damn uniform? They look like one person clone. That's what they march with. And you see our troop, you see 20, 30 people marching around, you think that's some shit. They flipping and spinning damn guns like they in a damn drill team, but they ain't combat ready. You got them damn people over there. Look at what they do. I was in Korea, and we worked 6 days a week over there. And I actually watched the sergeants kicking privates in their ass for not doing what they were supposed to do. And they only fed them like rice and vegetables. They ain't eat no damn meat. But them jokers was lean as hell, and they could fight. Instead of them going to the gym shooting basketball, they were taking taekwondo and hapkido and karate and all this stuff. That was their PT training every single day for the military. But we don't look at life like that. We can't treat people like that. We can't use profanity with our privates anymore because that hurt their feelings. We can't talk about Black history in school no more because that hurt little white boys and little white girls' feelings. You know, what the hell are we developing this country into? We can't even say the word punk no more. We'll get a court-martial in the army. You know, you can't say certain things. You can't do certain things here in this country without it being a problem for some damn body. You know, we ain't, it ain't like this country here done took itself down the wrong damn road, and we got a long way to damn go. Look at McManus right now, the police chief here in San Antonio, huh?
Oh yeah,
fighting against Gonzalez,
right?
The district attorney.
Right.
The district attorney said the police force ain't doing their damn job, letting these damn criminals out on the street. And McManus said the DA ain't holding the prisoners accountable and keeping them in jail. So they both fighting with each other, trying to decide who's gonna take the blame for all these damn escaped criminals. And then look at this little 21-year-old boy up in Philadelphia. He been on the run for 11, 12 days now. A little 21-year-old, they can't catch him. They have diverted monies from the school systems to the police force. They've diverted, listen to what I just said. They diverted money from the school systems to the police force so the police force can buy tanks, anti-tank weapons. The police force is nothing but a little military force right now because they got every damn thing the active duty soldiers got in the U.S. Army, because the federal budget is the largest budget in the country. No other budget trumps the military budget here in this country. And then the equipment that they buy is overwhelmingly stocked. Because Chuck, you remember when Bill Clinton was president, the Army was at over 1 million, not just the Army, but all the armed forces were over 1 million people on active duty. Okay. 1 million people now on active duty. Bill Clinton took the military from over 1 million people to 385,000. I remember that number specifically because I had to take in all that bullshit that was no longer needed. And we took thousands of of M16s, thousands of M151A2 Jeeps, and ran over them with a damn bulldozer. Crushed that shit. I mean, all this extra shit just had to be destroyed and given away as scrap metal or sold pennies on the dollar as scrap metal. But the thing is, somebody purchased that shit from the beginning. That shit wasn't free. They bought it from contractors in America like Smith & Wesson or Remington. They made all these big white companies multi-trillionaires off of taxpayer money. That shit is sad. But this is what our country does. We got right now a new mask mandate coming out because what is it? COVID is back on us, and it's all over the country. But the thing is, America will not be shutting down this time. So that means it's going to be very critical that you protect your own self, because if you don't, your ass going to be somewhere in the hospital, and they're going to put your ass away where you can't have no visitors, and they're going to put you on a respirator and move your ass on into a big Sealand container that's air conditioned so they can hold your body there until they figure out what to do with it. All I'm saying is watch yourself out here now, because nobody's telling you that this COVID shit is back on us, and we're not going to shut down like we did back in 2000. So you better watch yourself. That shit's coming. Ken Paxton is going through his impeachment trials. You see what's happening up there? All these white folks fighting. White folks fighting in Texas. They told Gregory Abbott to get them damn buoys out of that damn water, out of the Rio Grande. But then Ken Paxton called his buddy down in Louisiana, an old judge, and said, can you give me a stay order until we get through the appeal? So a judge from Louisiana told the Texas judge that ruled that Paxton need to move that shit out that water, that he don't have to move it until the appeal is over. And see how these white folks are doing right now, and we sitting on our ass while all this shit is happening and not getting ready for the fight. Because once they get through fighting each other, they're going to realize we don't have to fight each other. We got them niggas over there. We can fight them. Then they're going to turn their focus to us, and we're going to catch more hell than we've been catching already.
Yeah, we got to be careful about the smoke screen, you know. One thing that I wanted to say some time ago about the economy, you know, is that I don't have a contract with anybody. I'm a working man. I work for what I got, and nobody controls me or tell me how I can or cannot spend my money. But when you got millionaires and billionaires, they still got contracts with corporate America that if they do anything to piss off corporate America, it like kind of help raise their people up out of poverty and stuff, empower black people, they'll lose their contracts, and then they'll be right back down here with us struggling. You know, so I don't have a problem with people that have, you know, made it. I don't fall to this here stuff they calling the boule or the other Illuminati shit. I don't fall for that stuff because I'm not going to sacrifice nobody in my family for no wealth, and I'm not asking anybody with wealth to help me. What I'm asking is those people that are still struggling in poverty, which is post-slavery, and those people who are being harmed by these politics today, and the people that in our culture that are humanitarians and want to see us do better and not leave any of our people behind, to join the Black Independent Voters Association and register as an independent voter in our database. Therefore, we have a large number of independent voters ready to go to the polls and vote on an agenda that we have given to the politicians, not the parties, but the politician that wants our vote. And if he works with us, we'll work with him or her, you know. But we these two parties are dividing us, keeping us down. One to hit us, the other to cut us on the way down. You see, so we got to break that Willie Lynch uh, thing, the Willie Lynch indoctrination.
So what is that? Explain that, Willie Lynch.
Well, anybody can go online and pull up the Willie Lynch letter. Now, some people say Willie Lynch is a fictitious person. But anything associated with Lynch, I have to say is real. So you can go online and pull up the Willie Lynch letter, and it'll tell you it's called The Making of a Slave. Cut a long story short, basically in the end, we say you got to take the slave and the wild horse, and you got to break them because they're no good to you in their natural environment. So to do that, they took the strongest black male out there in front of all those other slaves, all the other people that were called slaves, tied him between two wild horses, and beat the horses in opposite directions till they tore his body in half. That injected the fear. Okay? So you inject fear, and if you want to take a look at that, you can say what the police is doing to unarmed black men and women today in America is injecting fear, trying to keep us cowardly in place. You know, but I'm not gonna let that happen. I can't. I pledge. I'll take a bullet for my people if I have to. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and I'm not gonna sit here and watch another little 8-9-year-old girl be handled by a grown ass man, and the police officer will put a knee on her back and put his gun on her because they want to go into a pool and swim. We got some coward ass men on the police force. They need to be replaced with some real men that knows how to control themselves and don't have to have a gun to be a man. And as far as Chief McManus and his little entourage and his little rage about these police officers getting failure, I feel for them. I know they're in a dangerous job. But where was that same tone of voice when there was unarmed black men and women getting killed, even Hispanic men over on the west side standing with his hands up in the air, and they cut loose on? They were nowhere close to being in danger. You know, so we the people have got to
on the force.
Yeah, we got to wake up, and we are woke today. Some of us are, and those of us that are woke need to come together, and if we come together, the rest of them will join us.
To be black in America is to be in a constant rage. And if you're not in a rage being black in America, you don't realize who you are. Because just about every positive thing that the government puts out, it's not going to be there to benefit you as a black person.
Warren,
it's there. Yeah.
I forgot I was going to finish the rest of that Willie Lynch indoctrination. I gave him to the part of what they said the fear, but then it's divide and conquer is the key. It's a divide and conquer, and they divide them based on their size, the texture of the hair, the color of the skin, this, that, and the other. And then he injected envy and distrust into them, and he said this will reperpetrate. I think that's the word. Reproduce itself, generation after generation after generation. And then he told the slave owners, he said, and teach this method to your children, and they will continue to use it against them. And so now we see, like you said earlier in the show, we're losing our culture. They are attacking our youth. And integrated school gave them access to our kids again. And then they're attacking them, putting money in their pockets to buy them out with athletics and stuff like this, you know, and so on and so on. And that's where they're attacking us. They take our kids away from us when they turn 18. Oh, you don't have to listen to your parents any longer. You're a grown woman now. You know, you're a grown
man.
Yeah. and you don't have to listen to your parents. And then you go to the school, and your child is still in high school, and you go up to the school to talk about their, oh no, they 18. We can't tell you, we can't give you no information. So they got all kinds. They talk about taking children away from them. They took them away and enslaving. They're still taking them away in the day when they turn 18. A child in our culture, kids wasn't grown until they hit 21. You see, so there's.
And then they're putting the police in the schools too.
Yeah,
it's mandated here in Texas.
They're bringing the prison system from the prison to the school now. It ain't a pipeline from the classroom to the prison anymore. They're bringing the prison to the school. And so we got to take out there. We got to get out there. We got to do things. We have me, you, and Ken is setting up a meeting with the NAACP to address some issues that are concerned to us. For instance, a lot of people understand that we got a prison system now that's baking our children to death, our loved ones to death. Yeah, they might have made a mistake, made a crime, and some of them are down there on false. They were railroaded in. They were railroaded in. So we need to call on the NAACP to step up to the plate and maybe look at some of these cases where they did a plea deal, telling the kid that you can get 99 to life in prison, and we're gonna offer you 25, and they jump on it. No, because I don't want to take a chance as a black man going in front of a jury, and I might be found guilty for a crime that I didn't do. But just see, I'm not willing to take that chance, so I take a 25 so I can get it over with. No, that's wrong. We need to have the NAACP go in there and look at these cases and find out how many of these cases that they got plea deals on and what they're going to lose if they went to court. We need to know that. We need to start the Barry County Criminal Justice Reform Coalition to look at some things, the plea bargaining deal, the plea bargaining program, and also the free trial program. They're hurting black people. Not the colleagues in the community know it, but who's stepping up to the plate to do a thing about it? You know,
the hardest thing for us to do is to accept change. And the owners of this country, and yes, I did say owners, because these rich million, trillion, billionaires, they own this country. Now, if you see Donald Trump with all that shit going on against him, and he's going to walk, he's not going to jail. The bottom line, that man is going to walk away, no matter what. So, and then he's still talking shit about they stole the presidency from him. But how long will this bullshit go on? We've heard from Trump every single damn day for the last 5 years. Every day there's been something on Trump on the news or on TV or on the radio or somewhere. The owners of this country got a plan, and they've stuck to the plan, and they got everybody where they want us to be. They got us believing that them old ass senators up there are there for us. And the people that vote for these old ass senators are just as gullible as them old ass senators. Look at Giuliani, a damn fool for Trump. Look at all these people running around here with the big ass trucks with the big ass flags on the back of their trucks. I'm for Trump. I'm for Trump. I don't know what the hell Trump is doing, but taking your damn money and paying his lawyers with it. He probably got 30 lawyers. It's unbelievable.
And it ain't his money either. He's using a bit money from these people that he's screwing around with. So I don't blame Trump. I blame the American people for losing their mind. If they're willing to give up everything that our white, black, and brown ancestors fought for us to have today, with their freedom and civil liberties, if they're willing to give that up, because they're not going to just take freedom and civil liberties from the black people, they're going to take it from everybody. And when they move in the oligarchs and the aristocrats and we start getting dictated to, there you go. The minority will be controlling the majority, and that we do not need.
That's the way. Yeah, though.
That's right. That's what we got to be. That's why I say we need to be paying attention to now and the future. How are we going to survive in this new world order?
It's almost we're not.
World order has been going on for some time now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so we haven't paid any attention to it. We haven't talked about it. We just locked out.
So when we say the owners of this country, that's the minority. They don't want change. They want control. And when we raise our head up out of our holes, they're going to knock them back down because they don't want to lose control. That's why all the white folks still sitting up there in the Senate, because they do not want to lose control. Have you noticed how back in, I'd say 40 years ago, 50 years ago, every single sport in America was dominated by somebody white? But look at what's happening now. Look at what Coco did yesterday. Coco kicked all the asses and won. Wimbledon, I think that's what it was. Look at all the black coaches that are in the NFL right now. Look at the NFL. It's about 10. Yeah, about 10 black coaches. 10 years ago, there were none. Look at the black quarterbacks. 10 years ago, well, there were maybe one or maybe two, but nowadays there's at least 5 or 10 of them. Or more, yeah. So black quarterbacks, tennis players, golf players. Look at Tiger Woods, took over the golf scene. I mean, you name a sport. Even we got a black race car driver. I don't remember his name, but we got one. We got people in all these areas where black people didn't go. We even got a black swimmer, a black woman that just won the nationals or something, the highest ranking something to go to the Olympics or something. We got gymnastics, Simone Biles. We got all these people. She did a move that ain't nobody been able to duplicate yet. You know, black people are phenomenal, but we are the only thing we're missing right now is unity. And if we could put that into play where we are moving in the same direction, we will be a phenomenal force that cannot be touched. They already fear us, and we know this. But the biggest thing that they fight is unity. They fight to keep us apart with that Willie Lynch shit that Chuck was talking about. They put us against each other. They don't allow a smart person in the hood to stay in the hood. They take them out the hood. They take them out the hood because if they stayed in the hood, they're going to help the hood grow. Right. So they take them out the hood so they can help them grow.
I've always said that when these players, the NBA, NFL players sign that contract with the NFL, it comes with a home. And that home is out of the community. For instance, here in San Antonio, most of the Spurs live out there in Stone Oak and the Dominion and places like that. You know, they don't.
Where is the Dominion? I heard of that for years, and I don't know how to clue where the hell that is.
Out there by Camp Bullis off 10
going
West.
Towards Kerrville?
No, Kerrville, yeah, just before you get to that little city out there, just outside of Camp Bullis.
Comfort?
No, it's not Comfort. It's another one out there. I can't think of it right
but
now.
It's going that way.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's still in San Antonio. Okay. You know, and we were doing a lot of things out there. But anyway, that's what happens. And I think that they have a home. They don't know. They can't choose where to live. They say, you're gonna take this money. We're gonna put you a home in this here community over here. Your tax dollars are gonna support the schools out there. Your tax dollars are gonna support these businesses, and so on and so on.
So what happened when we start to grow? Well, when we start to get a foothold in America, they start to come back with little shit. They hit us on the back door. Like right now, when we were starting to get an edge up on society here in America, they came out with all these student loans. And they said, yeah, let's send these black folks to college and get their ass in debt. So they have to pay for it the next 50 years, and they ain't never going to get out of debt with us. So that's what they did. Right now, that's why it's so hard for Biden trying to give somebody $10,000. Who the fuck want $10,000? That shit ain't gonna do shit for your damn student loans. You know, unless you got less than $10,000. Oh, and then they ain't gonna give you $10,000. They're gonna give you $50. But what do they want? Why do they want us to stay where we are? Because they need laborers. They need people to get out and do the hard work. They need people to get out and cut the grass, people to clean the houses, people to do the cooking, people to do the garbage. You know, that is what these owners of America need.
They got those, don't they have them? You know, we used to do those. We used to do those jobs: cut the grass, clean the house, cook the dinner. We used to do those jobs, but we've been replaced by somebody else.
By the Mexicans.
By the illegal immigrants coming over here. And Vicente Fox said years ago, they just coming to get the job that the black people don't want. I said, no, they're coming to get the job that the white man don't want to give to the black people.
Yeah, they don't want to pay the black people to do.
They don't want to pay us, you know. So, those people that come across there illegally, shit, you look at the money they make, and it's not cheap. They're not working for cheap labor. They're working for a price, and they're making money. But that Malcolm X told us, he said, when the immigrants come to America, you know, they came with nothing but the gold on the back and a few nickels and dimes in their pocket. He say, when they put their money together, and they bought a store, and they bought another store, and they built an industry of their own to support their people. But here comes the black man over there, want to go there and ask him for a job. And they tell me he ain't got one. He said there's racism, and start raising hell about it. Save that energy and use it to build your own industry so you can put your own people to work. And that's what the African Capital Reserve Fund is trying to do.
Well, let me ask you a question, Charlie. What happens to all the money that's collected in these mega churches today?
Oh, they're corporations.
What do they do with the money?
That's a good question. I mean,
they take it to the white banks.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Because we got the Black Family Reunion coming up, and I went to a couple of places to try to sell some barbecue plates, and one guy, I ain't calling no name, but one guy, he said, well, I'm selling tickets from my church. And it just hit me the wrong way, I said, yeah, and then you're going to take that money and y'all going to collect it Sunday morning. You're going to take it to that white bank and put it in there, and he's going to loan it to that white contractor, and he's going to come back into your community and build something that you're going to go spend the rest of your money in.
Renting it. So you ain't gonna be able to buy it.
Because at every church that we got, if they were concentrating on economic empowerment and building companies and businesses, we wouldn't have this. If the AME Church, and this is something I'm going to propose to them through the African American Capital Reserve Fund, they build colleges, they support education, they support economic growth. How come we don't have an AME Memorial Hospital system? I don't trust white doctors now. I am very, very concerned about the care that they're trying to give to some of our people. We got white nationalists that are doctors and teachers and shit. How do we know if the person that we are trusting our bodies to that's going to put us under for a surgery is not a white nationalist? Come up here, well, we took that one out. It was a medical situation. Same with our children getting miseducated in the school system. We need to have the African American Legal Defense and Empowerment Fund. We got it on paper, but we don't have the people to come forward and say, hey, let's make it work. All these little things I mentioned is on paper and registered with the state. We just need the people to come up and say, let's work together and help ourselves, pull ourselves up by the bootstrap.
It's that indoctrination that Chuck's talking about. But if you look around the country, and if you ever go to a hotel, you see a particular race at the counter in that hotel. Everywhere you go. If you go to a Shell station, if you go to a 7-Eleven, you see a particular race inside that store.
Yeah.
if you ever go to a small town and you see grocery stores, meat markets, or quick stores, you're going to see a particular race in those stores. You know, never do you see our people in our communities running the stores in our communities. Look at that dude that used to be across from Church's Chicken on WWY. It used to be a Korean over there or something selling all them hair supplies. And this is something that women, I really want you to start paying attention to. Yeah, this damn hair you buying ain't cutting it. If you knew where that hair had been, you knew where it's coming from, off of some animal's ass or something like that, you would not be putting that in your head. You know, ain't nothing wrong with you wearing your hair natural. But, you know, braids is another story. Braids are beautiful. But some of the stuff that you see these women doing, putting this long, curly, flowing hair, what are they trying to do? Who are they trying to represent? That doesn't represent black people.
What about the Dome Act, bro? What do you think about the Dome Act?
Oh, the Dome Act is a beautiful act that protects all of us and to wear the shit where we want to wear it. Nobody can tell you.
I thought it was just for women.
It's for women and men too. Nobody can tell you the way to wear your hair anymore.
I thought it was natural. I thought it was natural hair.
Yeah, it is. It's for any kind of hair, Chuck. You you can wear your hair the way you want to.
I was saying women wearing their natural hair. That was the Dome Act.
The Dome Act may come out saying that women wearing natural hair. Natural hair can be any style you want. Nobody can tell. Just like, let's say a boy going to elementary school playing sports, and the teacher say, "Oh, you got to cut your dreads." Your dreads can be dreadlocks. You can have weave in your dreads. You can have whatever you want. Nobody can tell you to cut your dreads because that's a violation.
I'd have to take a stand on that because I saw one of the little boys here in San Antonio that's fighting it because they done suspended a couple of kids already, both men and boys here in San Antonio for their hairstyle.
How long ago?
He had dreads that was down in front of his face like this, and then all the way around and down on his back. Now, I think facial recognition is something that's important. I don't want to run somebody come in there, I can't see their face and they've got because of their dreads. So I think that they just asked him to cut it over and make sure his face is shaped, his face is visible, and keep it off his scalp.
That's illegal.
That's when we was in school.
Yeah, when we was in school, they could do that, but now they can't because of that Dome Act you just mentioned. That Dome Act protects everybody.
And I think that white boy too, back in the day, they wanted to have that old long stringy hair, so they stopped the policy saying that, you know, you got to keep the hair off your collar. So, you know,
because the white boys.
Yeah, because they wanted to wear that long hair, run around here
so,
like girl.
So what do you think the biggest distraction we fight right now? What is taking us all our eye off the prize of where we should be going? What's keeping us from getting in this line?
My personal opinion, the war in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine is a smokescreen for Donald Trump to be reelected.
It's a what?
It's a smokescreen to help Donald Trump get reelected. You know, Donald Trump and Putin are real good buddies.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen, you see, is after a while, Donald Trump's going to have a meeting with Putin, and he's going to talk Putin into having a ceasefire, and kind of put an end to the war, and it's going to push him over into the presidency.
Make him look good, right?
Y'all stay woke because the bullshit's coming.
Yeah, and what was happening when they these damn fools were paying $250,000 to go down to the Titanic, and then they got lost down there somewhere. And then they had to spend another $20 million to go looking for them, because that's what they spent. They spent a lot of damn money trying to find something that didn't exist anymore. Them people, but at the same time, they were creating what they call the brick. Have you heard of the brick yet?
No.
The brick is just like the euro. You remember when the euro took over the Dutch mark in Europe? They stopped using the Dutch mark. They came out with this thing called the euro that took over all of Europe. That was a change of currency that made it one single currency for that whole area, for Europe. Now they got this thing called the brick, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They're coming together with a new currency to take out the dollar.
Yeah, I heard about it. I did.
So we've been asleep while all this shit's been happening. Mm-hmm. So we've been on a little over an hour, so our time is coming to an end. So I want to give you an opportunity to say the last things you want to say, Chuck, and then we're going to proceed to close. So please go ahead.
I appreciate it. I'm just going to say we had a good conversation today. There's a lot of things that we can talk about, try to enlighten the community on and strengthen them and, get them woke. But I also like to take a moment right now and remind everybody that we're fixing to have the Black Family Reunion. It's a family reunion for all Black families. We were going to do the John Muir Miles Youth Softball Tournament, but we hadn't developed it like we want to. So we will be doing the family reunion. Going to have some of that good old Southern blues DJs out there, some live entertainment, barbecue plates, and bouncers for the kids to play on, a couple of speakers, some, dominoes. Old-fashioned family reunion for the Black families of San Antonio. It's going to be at Plex Park on September the 23rd from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. You guys can get tickets. You can call 210-836-5013 and request tickets, or you can hit me up on Facebook under Charlie Ray and leave me inbox me, and I'll get a ticket to you. Okay. This is the first time that we're going to celebrate the Negro League Baseball Day in San Antonio. The commission scored back in 2002, declared September 5th as Negro League Baseball Day in San Antonio. We haven't celebrated it yet. So hopefully we'll kick it off this year. We're not trying to get it set up where Labor Day, every Labor Day after this, we'll be able to celebrate the Negro League.
Who's the commissioner for that John B. Miles Baseball League?
Well, we've asked his grandson, D. Anthony Miles, to be the commissioner. Dr. Miles has got his own company and stuff. I forget what it's called, but he's a very busy man. He got a couple of books he just came out with. We just dedicated one to me. So I got a lot of Black authors growing in my library. So one of these days when I got time, I'm gonna step back and read books, catch up. Especially one to call Leave the Dirt in the Fields. It inspired me to write one called Leave the Crime in the Streets. Too many families and senior citizens who have worked all their life now having to sit back and deal with the crime that is brought into their homes and into their lives by their offspring. And we got to take it and address that issue. We're trying to just address that through the Save Our Sons campaign and take a stance against the black on black violence. We quit killing ourselves. The police can't kill enough of us to make a difference. We just got to quit killing ourselves. We got to make Black Lives Matter to us as well. You must be muted. I can't hear you. I see your lips moving, but you can't hear you.
Let's see if I can fix that. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I got two pictures, but I can hear you.
All right. I had two cameras running here. But first of all, I'd like to say this 12 years of indoctrination that we're going through is a European indoctrination system. The 12 years of school, that's what that is. The religion that we practice is not our religion, and it has got us as screwed as we can ever be. So please start to do an assessment of what you're doing, going to these facilities, practicing a particular faith that ain't doing you any good. So please pay attention to that. We already know that there's turmoil in the white race. So let's manifest ourselves into one direction so we can be ready when they get to fighting amongst themselves. Because when they do, they're going to start looking at us, and then we're going to be the target. And that's what we don't want to do.
But Warren, it won't be white folks fighting black folks. It's going to be immigrants fighting the black folks. Because every immigrant that came over here legally and go through that class, they get a lesson on how to deal with the black people. Stay away from them. They'll rob you. They'll kill you. They'll do this. So they brand them to be racist towards us. And now, when George H.W. Bush was in the White House, and he went up and said he was going to reform the EEOC, and came back and told the American people, he said, well, the EEOC has been reformed, and now the burden of proof that they didn't discriminate against a person is on the shoulders of the employee. But they turned around and took away the quota system, which was the only way to prove it. So now we got all these immigrants opening businesses around here, and their employees do not look nothing like America, And so we got.
What do we say about the Mexican restaurants?
What does it say about the Mexican restaurants?
When we don't see black people working in there,
we walk out. That's any immigrant restaurant.
Have you ever seen a black person working at a Mexican restaurant?
Yes, I do. I mean, down at Taco Cabana here on Riddiman Road, I'm
talking about a Mexican restaurant.
Taco Cabana's a Mexican restaurant, ain't it?
No, ain't no. That's a damn franchise restaurant.
Well, here in San Antonio, it started by Hispanics or Mexican.
Taco Cabana?
Yeah. It started the original store though down Hillebrand. It started by Hispanics right here in San Antonio. Now New York firm has bought it out. But
it's commercialized.
You go into any of these here immigrants' businesses, from the hair care to the restaurant to the construction site, you're not going to see
stops too.
Huh? Yeah.
I just take quick stops.
Black people working there. If you do, it's going to be one. Taco Cabana down the street, I think they got two. But they're not hiring our people, and they're not supporting our businesses. So we got to make a conscious decision to stop supporting them with our money. They don't need it. So keep it to ourselves. Let's start building that industry. And we can hire a Chinese cook, or we can hire an Oriental cook, or Hispanic cook in our business, and they can still get that good old Mexican food, Chinese food, right from a black-owned business. Because Malu's Soul Food Mexican restaurant is on the move. That's right. We got to play the game.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black U.S.A., broadcasting live from the desk of the Emissary with the War Report. I want to say thank you for listening or watching, whichever suited you best. We want to ask you to go to Facebook and like our Facebook page on the War Smith or the War Report. We want to ask you to go to YouTube on the BNN 24/7 and like our YouTube or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We thank you, though, for giving us your support, because without you, we wouldn't have a purpose to be here. But we will be back on Wednesday at 6 o'clock for a 30-minute show, just to let you know what we're going to be talking about for Sunday next week at 3:30. If you have something that you want to talk about, let Mr. Slaughter know, or let myself know. Mr. Slaughter, what was that telephone number you had?
210-836 5013.
Thank you. So with that, I'd like to say thank you again for tuning in to the Black News Network. I want to thank our co-host here, Mr. Chuck Slaughter, for being part of the show. And we are going to sign off until Wednesday of next week. Thank you for watching.
White supremacists said, I can't maintain a system with black people being serious, so I'm going to redirect their seriousness, and I'm going to do it through something that they relate to best. I'm going to do it through a medium that they can relate to, and that is entertainment. So I'm going to twist and turn their entertainment in such a way that where it was non-justice before, where they were trying to talk about justice and head in that direction, I'm going to redirect that whole machine right before their eyes. And since they are a primitive people, they won't even realize what I'm doing, because it will all be fun, because I know how to package stuff that doesn't make sense so that it is fun. And I'll have them directing their entire existence to getting up in the morning and looking for something stupid to do. And they won't even know that they're looking for something stupid to do, because they're just that stupid, because I will have programmed them to be stupid.